Do you have a bunch of things on your to-do list that are bogging you down and they're all like small things that are just adding up over time? Today's tip is to help you with that, and it's simply this: follow the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is quite simple. If you think of something and it takes of 2 minutes or less to do, just do it. Clear it. Get it done. That extra 2 minutes you do not need towards another task. Just quickly do your 2-minute things to keep your task list rolling so that it doesn't get longer and unwieldy. And that is the tip of the day for March 3rd, 2025. It is a Monday. I will be back tomorrow with Ariel Nissenblatt for another tip.
So today on March 4th, I have an anti-tip for you, and it's about being nauseous in cars and curing nausea in cars, which is something that I've never been able to figure out how to do. I am constantly car sick. I heard a long time ago that if you stare out the center of the car onto the horizon, you should not feel nauseous and nauseated. Somebody's going to get me for saying nauseous, nauseated. We're just going to go with nauseous for now. And the truth is that has never worked for me. And I'm curious, listeners, viewers, if that has ever worked for you. And if not, what has worked for you to help with car sickness? So that's the anti-tip of the day. And we are back tomorrow with another episode of Daily Tips that may or may not help you, but it'll be me, Ned, and Catherine Quinn, our guest tipper of the month. See you then. Welcome to the show, Catherine Quinn. You are our guest tipper of the month. And for today's tip, March 5th, we can file this one under tips that should take 20 minutes or less. What do you have for us?
If you want to meet with someone in an industry in which you are aspiring, ask for 20 minutes or less of their time and be really specific about which 20-minute windows you might be interested in. So it's an easy yes or no for them instead of an open-ended, hey, can I pick your brain sometime? That's putting the onus on them. Right?
Don't pick my brain.
I can't have my brain picked. But if you say, I would love to take you to a virtual Zoom coffee or a real life coffee and for 20 minutes, and do you have time next Wednesday at 1 p.m. or next Thursday at 2 p.m., I'm much more likely to look at my calendar and say, yeah, actually, I can do a Zoom chat at 2 o'clock on Thursday, no problem.
This is a fantastic tip. It nestles really nicely into a bunch of tips Ariel's given, and it just really reinforces the importance of being specific with your asks all the time. You are far likely to get a better result. And like you said, not only will you look at your calendar and go, yeah, I could maybe do that, but you might look at your calendar and go, no, but I can do Friday. Specific asks, very useful. I love this tip. Catherine Quinn, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you as our guest tipper for March. And we will be back tomorrow with another Ned and Ariel tip, and next Wednesday with Catherine Quinn. Tippendales, I'm going to be very honest with you. I have a splitting headache today. Hi, it's Ned from Daily Tips that may or may not help you, and we are doing solo tips this week as Ariel and I are on other sides of the country and had to record at separate times. My tip of the day is this. There is a pressure point in your hand for those of you watching. It is the large fatty muscle between your thumb and pointer finger, and if you dig into that, it hurts, and you do a little circle on it, it will begin to alleviate your headache in just a couple of seconds. And I will be using this pressure point extensively after I get off this recording of Daily Tips that may or may not help you. So the pressure point between your thumb and your pointer finger on either hand, in fact, I often switch between them because it hurts enough that I have to take a break, is a great home remedy to help you clear an oncoming headache or a headache that has already begun. And that is today's tip. And Ariel will be back tomorrow with a solo tip.
On yesterday's episode of Daily Tips that may or may not help you, Ned was talking about headaches and a quick remedy that he has figured out to help his headaches. Today, we've got a related tip. It's about hangovers. So, sometimes hangovers come with headaches. So today's tip is about hangovers, and this is not something that I've tried myself, but some friends have told me about it. There are now hangover patches. They are small little square things that you can stick onto your body, and they have a bunch of vitamins and minerals, and apparently they make you feel much better after drinking the night before. So try these out. There's a bunch of brands that you can try. One of them is called Recovery. And let us know if they work for you. Come back here, write in the comments. And that is the tip of the day for Friday, March 7th. Tomorrow, we have our interview with Catherine Quinn, who is our guest tipper of the month. So you get to hear all about what she's up to and where her tip philosophies come from, if that makes sense. So we'll catch you here then. And then next week, we're back with more tips. That's from me and Ned, and we'll see you then.